let's go into today's topic. So, I want to know everyone first. So, have you took part in the CCIE EI version 1.0? Okay, so can you answer me? So, have you took part in the version 1.0 about CCIE EI? So, anyone who take part in the CCIE EI, the old version? Okay, if you have took part in the CCIE EI version 1.0, you can reply 1. If you don't took part in the CCIE EI version 1.0, you can answer 0. Okay, so have you took part in? If you took part in, you can answer me, call the number 1. And if you didn't take part in the CCIE version 1.0, you can call 0. Okay. Demo is a new question for CCIE EI Lab. Okay, CCIE EI Lab version 1.1. I will introduce it later because now Cisco very strict with the new version. So we can't get its detail information. Okay. So have you took part in the CCIE EI? Okay. So why I want to know this situation? Because if you didn't took part in the old version, I will suggest you to learn the CCIE EI version 1.0. Why I will suggest you to learn it first? Because the new version 1.1, it didn't change a lot about all the CCIE knowledge. It's mainly change in SDN, SDA, and SD-WAN. So the CCIE EI lab version 1.1, it hasn't many change in about the routing and switching. So I will suggest you to learn the CCIE version 1.0, and you can test yourself. Okay. So let's continue to talk about today's topic. So today our focus is on the requirement analysis of EI lab topology. Okay. So CCIE EI lab topology changed a lot. Okay. So sorry, this question I can't answer you detail because now we can't get the complete CCIE new version, so I can't answer its detail to you. Okay, but if we have complete updated the version, the material we will provide you. Okay, so will the topology and the configuration remain the same between version? Okay, I guess it's impossible. Because Cisco has told us it will change a lot about our SDN. It's only the knowledge point about routing and switching hasn't many change. Okay, can you know? Okay, so let me introduce this old version first. So this is the complete EI lab topology diagram. So if you haven't took part in the old version, I will suggest you learn the old topology, because if you're familiar with the old version, you will practice the new version quickly. Okay. So let's continue to talk about this. So this is the complete EI lab topology diagram, which mainly examines candidate deploy, operate, and optimize capacity. So it's referred to as DOO. So you can see, this part belongs to routing and switching, and this part belongs to SDA and SD-WAN. And the right part is belong to programming. So you can see this is HQ, HQ category, and this is DC, and this is IaaS, and SP1 and SP2, and there are 4 branches. Okay, so you can see this topology falls under the category of SDA and SD-WAN. So next, I will introduce the SDA and SD-WAN module, which is complete SDN topology. So if the previous routing and switching can be successfully completed, SDN topology is not very difficult. So let's take a brief look at the technical point used in SDA and SD-WAN. Okay, let's see. So you can see the topology first. So there are detailed topology of SDN related module. So you can see this is SDN. So this is the service provider through it's connect to our branch 1. This is branch. This belong to branch 1, and this belong to these are all belong to branch 1. Branch 1 and branch 2. So you can see this. So SP2 connect to branch 1. Okay, and this is belong to branch 2. There are 3 switch in branch 2. Okay, and it's connect to our SP2. And the third part is our DC. It is belong to our traditional network. Okay, so you can see this is DC. Connect to our service provider, and there are 2 branches. Okay, 2 branches. So let's see the SDN technology point. So you can see. Okay, so let's take a brief look at the technical point used in SDA and SD-WAN. Okay, so for example, for SDA, I listed several knowledge points. You can see segmentation, control plane, border, edge, and underlay fabric, VN and SGT, and so on. So it's belong to our SDA. And for SD-WAN, you must know the role of controller. So OMP, and root leak, centralize, and the control policy, and so on. So in the SDN module, the first one you should know is that as a candidate, you should understand the role of each controller. So you can see in SDN there are many controllers. The first one is VH. Okay, you can see the VH, and vSmart, vBond, vSmart and vBond, and the vManager. Okay, vManager. So vManager and okay, vManager. So and the DNA center is belong to SDA. DNA center is belong to SDA, and we should use vManager and the vSmart, vBond, and the VH trace route SD-WAN. Okay, so you should know. You should understand the role of each controller, such as how to pass route between these controller. The second is how switch. Okay, you can see. Okay. So the second is about how these 4 switch. You can see there are 4 switch about our SDN topology. This about our switch 400, and the switch 501, and switch 502, switch 510. Okay, so these are 4 switch are controlled by DNA center. So you should know how the DNA center control these 4 switch. Okay, can you know how the DNA center the full switch came online at DN center. So I will share with you an analysis of the process of switch going online at DN center. So first, you should know the underlying data. So let me analyze it for you. So first, you can see it's okay. So first there is we can see the VH21. So there is VPN 999 on VH21. So VH21 has a VPN 999. Okay, so then the VH will establish OSPF neighbor with switch 201 and switch 202. Okay, so it will establish OSPF neighbor. So after learning the route, okay, so VH will learn the OSPF route through switch 201 and 202, and the switch 201 and 202 they can learn the DNA route, DNC center route. So VH can learn the DN center route through these two switch. Okay, so VH will pass the route to vSmart. Okay, it will pass route through the OMP. Through OMP to vSmart. Okay, then vSmart will reflection the vSmart reflection is passed to other VH. Okay, vSmart will pass this route to other VH. Okay, so this OMP is similar to BGP router reflector RR. Okay, router reflector. So the other device can learn the route of the DC through the VPN 999. Okay, so VPN 999 and learn the server interface VH. Server interface under the VH establish OSPF with the switch. With the switch 400 and 501 and 502. Okay, so they establish OSPF neighbor. So then VH will redistribute OSPF and OMP through OSPF. VH will redistribute OMP into OSPF, so the switch can learn the DN center route. Okay. So that's about the underlay data. So reverse it's the same process. So you can see this part, and I don't need to introduce it again. Okay. So next, let's see the CCIE SDN requirement. Okay, so you can see the first part is about our completing VN in DN center. So first you can know add new virtual network add new VM IoT for Internet of Things network on branch 1 and branch 2. So we know the VN is in SDA. In SDA we call it VN. The VN is similar to our VRF. Okay, you can know VRF and the VRF is our traditional and VN is our VRF, and the VH is called its VPN. Okay, VPN. Okay, so it's VN. So we need to create VN IoT in branch 1 and branch 2. Okay. Second, we can see create new address pool for IoT VN. So its branch name. Okay, so we need to create address pool. So we need to create the DHCP pool in DN center. Okay, because DN center. Okay, so we need to create address pool. Then for branch 1 IoT. Okay, branch IoT VPN, we need to allocate list subnet and the gateway, and the branch IO2 list subnet. Okay, so and we should complete configuration of address pool for the guest VN. So let me introduce it. So branch 1 and branch 2, they have 3 VN: IoT, guest, and employee. Okay, so there have 3 VPN and so create address pool. So address. Okay, so because the list are about our address pool, correct the address pool information currently define the branch 1 for employee. So employee, the address pool have problem. Okay, so for all address pool, use the DHCP server to allocate address to a client. So we need to use switch 211 allocate the address pool. Okay, these belong to our DHCP server. Okay, so let's continue to talk about the second requirement. The first requirement, the first part of configuration is relatively simple. Basically, answer according to the need. Okay, so you just answer according to this requirement. So let's continue to talk about the second part. Okay, the second part is about the SDA VN and SD-WAN VPN. Okay, I just told VPN is our VRF. VPN belong to SD-WAN, VN belong to SDA, and our traditional is called VRF. Okay, so use any host to access the vManager. Okay, so it's told us how to access the vManager. Okay, so we need to create 3 new SD-WAN VPN. Okay, so we need to create 3 SD-WAN VPN in VH. Okay, so we need to create 3 VPN in VH 40, 51, 52. Okay, so on branch 1 and branch 2, so we need to create a new sub-interface on the interface toward SDA border switch. Okay, we need to create the sub-interface under the VH in this interface, and this VH51 is this interface, and this interface it's align the VLAN ID and the IP address on the sub-interface with the configuration generated by DN center. So it means that because this DN center will allocate the address in these 3 switch. So the VH need to configure the address align with these 3 switch. Okay, so the last part is about the peer VH. It's about the VH and the switch also need to establish BGP neighbor. Okay, BGP neighbor. So under the interface, the sub-interface, we need to establish IBGP neighbor between VH40 and the switch 400. So because it has 3 VN, 3 VPN, so it will have 3 IBGP neighbor relationship. Okay, so So you already bought the service. You only waiting to start the new version. Don't worry about it. If we have updated the new version, we will inform you. So maybe you need to wait a month. Because now Cisco are very strict about the new version, so we can't get it in detail. So let's continue to talk about the three part. The third part is about root leak. Root leak. So to allow the traditional part network to communicate with the employee and the IoT. So what does this means? So this means is that we need to trace the DC to IoT and our employee. So let's continue. So prefix in IoT VN. This belong to our IoT VPN. This is VPN IoT 198. And these are 199, and this also 199, and this is VRF 200. So let's choose talk to you about this data analyze. So prefix in IoT VPN must be imported into the existing SDA underline VPN 999. So and tagged with the tag value of 198. So it means that so these are VPN 198 and 200 belong to employee. So we need to trace this route to our DC, and also DC need to trace route to our true branch. So we need to use the root leak to trace route. Also we need to carry tag to prevent the root look back. So and the second is about our prefix SDA underline 999 advertise from DC. That must be rejected. So also redistribute OMP into OSPF on branch 1 and branch 2. It means that VH need to redistribute OMP to OSPF. Because there has VPN 999. So we need to redistribute to our OSPF. And place host 41 into employee and host 51. These belong to our VN, and this IoT VN, and this host belong to employee VN. So we need to make sure these two hosts can obtain IP address. So the last part is our guest traffic belong to our host 42 and 52. So in on VH 21 and 22, so we need to place the interface into guest VN. So we just need to configure in the switch mode access, switch access VP, switch access VLAN 199. So peer, so you can see peer router 23 and 20 VH21 is about this, and the router 24 and the VH22. So we need to configure IBGP in these four switch. So these two configure IBGP. These two configure IBGP. So on router 23 and 24 configure static default route. We need to configure stated route default route in the guest VRF and point to our ISP, okay, and advertise this route in IBGP. We need to advertise this route to IBGP. Okay, so the VH22 and 21 can learn the default route. Okay, so on these two routers, we need to configure the NAT. Okay, we need to configure the PAT on these two routes, so our host can access the internet. Okay, so configure the router 23. This 23 is the DHCP server for the DHCP VPN. Okay, so these are about our DHCP configuration. Okay, so you can know SDN is not very difficult. You just need to configure it according to our EI lab requirement. I think the routing and the switching maybe will more difficult because the routing and the switching are more flexible. Okay, so let's continue. So the routing and the switching and SDN are the most important and really difficult module in EI lab. So they are also the main reason why students fail the exam. So I will list a few common faults to share with you. So in SDN, you can see the most important thing is that the first switch can get address and the first switch can ping the internet. So if you haven't took part in the CCIE lab, so maybe I don't need to share the troubleshooting ideas. So you can learn it by yourself through the PPT. Okay. So you can according to the troubleshooting idea. Okay. So if you can't understand the knowledge, you can communicate with me. Okay. So moving on, let's go deep into the new version of the CCIE lab exam version 1.1. Okay. So everyone know the Cisco has changed the CCIE lab in September 20th. So you can see these are about our CCIE lab. Okay, CCIE lab. I know the security just change in September, October 20th. Okay, November. Okay, first date is November 20th. Okay, so it's about our enterprise collaboration. Okay, so I want to analyze the difference between the EI lab test point before and after the question change. Okay, so you can see first of all, we can see that the changes mainly in SDN. So you can see the difference between the new and the old version. So the changes mainly in SDN, software defined infrastructure. So you can see these are about SDN, and the second is our transport technology and the solution. So and the automation and the programmability. So Cisco officially stated that SDN will enter the whole sector for adjustment. So the Cisco SD-Access and the Cisco SD-WAN have been restructured to provide candidates with a more concise list of what we need to know around this topic. So the updated structure of subtasks aims to provide more clarity. So you can see these are SD-Access and SD-WAN. There are many changes in SDN, and in the module of transport technology and solution and infrastructure automation programmability, there are few test points. Okay, but it is not clear whether the difficulty of the test will increase. Also, you can learn this. So if you want to take the new version of EI Lab, we can study these detailed syllabus. Okay, you can see these are about our new version 1.1 syllabus, so which contains corresponding material. So okay, you can see these are our switch, network infrastructure, and the ether channel spanning tree, and the routing protocol EIGRP, OSPF, BGP, multicast, and SDN overlay fabric deploy authentication template, and SD-WAN fabric segmentation, and SD-WAN controller. Okay, SD-WAN underlay. Okay, OMP overlay management protocol. Okay, centralized, localized. Okay, so transport technology solution, MPLS, and DMVPN, and so on. So you can see its detail by yourself. Okay, so also there have many related corresponding material. So but there is a lot content, and we need to invest a lot of energy. Okay, so the following questions are currently asked by many friends. So the first one, after the CCIE Lab, CCIE title changes, do you need to study version 1.0? Okay, if you haven't took part in the old version, so you can learn it by yourself. So according to Cisco past trends, both version of version 1.0 and the version 1.1 need to be mastered and randomly selected. It will one will SPOTO updated the solution. It's maybe took about 2 months for SPOTO to update the solution. So, but you can contact our CCIE tutor at any time to confirm the specific update progress. So, the third problem is, what's the main content of the new question? So, as we said before, the changes in the new Cisco version are mainly in SDN. Okay, and the routing switching hasn't changed much. So, and the last, it is necessary to reserve the CCIE test location in advance. So if your local exam space is tight, you can make an appointment for 2024, but you don't pay first. Okay, if you want to pay, you can contact tutor before. Okay,